What's up, listeners?
You are listening to CuboldCast,
a podcast focused on co-op and multiplayer gaming experiences. Our hosts are Caleb, myself, Jay,
What's up?
and Chug. So yesterday, I literally started playing Scrap Mechanic at 1 for a guide, and I finished at 11:30.
Why?
How did you play for so long?
Okay,
I'd be
well,
dead.
I took like an hour and a half break, but the thing with that game is that when it comes to farming, you have to wait at least 30 minutes for one crop. And I wasn't really prepared for the guide, so it kind of did take me a little longer than I'd say normally. But I mean, the game is really fun, but I don't know. There's just at the moment, I think I think it's a little premature, like the whole leveling up system and everything like that. But it is fun.
Yeah.
So you don't really like it that much in its current state?
No, I do. It's just that I don't know how to explain it. It's like kind of like when you know how when games first come out and the mechanics are a little wonky.
So it still feels like early access, kind of?
In a way, yeah. So I think after a couple months, or because it is pretty popular, so after a couple months, they're gonna start cutting back on some things. I even read some of the recent updates, and they have been like fixing some things, like making things cost less. So honestly, I'm just waiting for them to start doing that kind of stuff, and then I'll jump back into it.
I played it a little bit with you guys, but I joined when Ben was hosting the server.
Yeah,
and there was the worst lag ever. I couldn't do anything.
Oh, you know what's cool? Astroneer is adding, or they just added a feature where you can have your own servers.
Really? Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like a dedicated server?
Yeah.
So you can have like tons of people, like 30, 40 people join in one world?
Wait, that many people?
I don't know how big the servers are going to be, but I know that at the moment it's still a little premature. Like the servers aren't completely stable.
Because I know for if you were hosting a world and people joined you, and even if you weren't even hosting it, I remember if you looked at the tethers, I think it was really glitchy. Like
tethers?
Yeah, the tethers were really, really glitchy.
I haven't gotten that
give
problem.
you frame drops.
But then again, the last time all of us three played was like 2 years ago.
Yeah. Or even last year.
Yeah, I've been playing with Ben a little bit. But what have you guys been playing?
I've been playing Terraria, and so has Chug.
So me too.
The final update for Terraria just came out last. Wait, you too? You played it for an hour?
Like 10 minutes. No, it was like 10 minutes.
10 minutes, really? You stole his items and you left.
Yeah, I might play a little more. It's just I was late to it.
Yeah,
I was too busy playing vampires, so I got late to the start.
Yeah, the final update called Journey's End came out, and it's nostalgic, but it's also really cool to see what they've added too. Because we've been playing that game since 2013.
Yeah, around there.
And it's one of our favorite games. And so knowing this is the final update, it's kind of...
It's sad and cool at the same time.
Yeah, because they added a ton of new stuff. New biomes, new enemies.
Yeah.
In a new mode.
Yeah, well, 2 new modes. There's Master Mode and there's Journey Mode.
We were playing Master Mode the other day. That's when you joined. That's why it was so hard for you.
What's Journey Mode?
Journey Mode is sort of like a creative mode, except you actually have to play through the game normally. But when you get an item, you can duplicate it repeatedly. So you get a sword, and you can duplicate it and give it to all your friends. Or you get a certain block, and you can make infinite amounts.
And you actually start with good items too. Like they give you a wings, like basic wings,
like
not even
hard
hard
like 10
wings.
blocks for them.
Yeah, and they also give you iron tools instead of copper tools. Just better stuff that you could start with.
There's a huge menu bar too, where you can change difficulty. You can change enemy spawn rate, like turn certain enemies off.
Journey Mode.
Yeah, it's basically creative mode.
Yeah,
except you can't just infinite fly around and stuff. You actually have to play through it first, and then
you have to find the items to be able to get the item, duplicate it again.
Like jumping into it, I mean, for 10 minutes, but the other day, it was like, it was nostalgic. Like, I don't know, we used to play it a long time ago.
On PS3.
Was it PS3 or PS4?
PS3 we started.
Yeah, it was a while ago, but we used to play it a lot. I remember that.
We did.
So it's like I want to get back into it, but I have a lot of things to do right now.
Yeah,
but
and a lot of games.
Yeah, I know. It's like overwhelming at the moment. How about you, Chug?
So I've been playing this game called Lords of the Fallen. So it's pretty much, if you've ever heard of the Surge games.
Yeah.
And it's made by Deck 13. Which you probably don't know who those people are, but it's published by Focus Home Interactive, which made Vampire and
or published it at least. Right?
Yeah, published it.
Yeah,
and they do they publish a lot of great games, but Lords of the Fallen is pretty much a Dark Souls clone. But if anybody doesn't know what Dark Souls is, pretty much the point of the game is there's bosses in the game and there's checkpoints.
They're really difficult games.
Yeah, they're very difficult games.
When you said you were playing it, I kind of looked it up on Steam, and it kind of reminds me of like if Dark Souls and Lord of the Rings like combined.
Pretty much, yeah.
Like the aesthetic looks like Lord of the Rings.
Like in my opinion, I like it better than Dark Souls 2.
That's not a very high bar to beat, though.
It's not really a high bar to beat, but it's Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just because it's Dark Souls doesn't mean it's good.
That is true.
Dark Souls 1 and 3 were good. Dark Souls 2, I mean, not a bad game, but definitely not the best in the series.
Yeah, it had its fun times, but there was a lot more blah times than fun times in Dark Souls 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and so that game is a lot like Dark Souls 2?
It's better than Dark Souls 2, in my opinion.
How so?
The movement in Dark Souls 2 compared to Dark Souls 2, the movement in Lords of the Fallen is very, very smooth. In Dark Souls 2, it was like clunky.
Mm-hmm. Brian calls it Clunk Souls.
Yeah, pretty much. But when you hit like a shield or something, like your sword bounces off of it, and the noises in the game, it's really cool to see like what they did with it.
The graphics are pretty cool looking too.
They're pretty good.
They look better than Dark Souls 3
game.
graphics actually.
It came out in 2014.
Yeah.
So it looks really good for a 2014 game.
I noticed that the combat was slower paced than Dark Souls.
It's faster than Dark Souls 2.
Depends on what you use for a class.
That is true.
But your character looked really heavy and just kind of brutal.
Well, I was using the heavy armor.
True.
That's why.
If you use another character, would they be faster?
Very fast.
Huh. Yeah, that looks interesting. I kind of want to play it eventually.
Yeah. I'm not going to say that because I have too many games to play.
Yeah, you still got to beat Dark Souls 3.
Yeah, that and Plague's Tale.
Oh,
I
yeah.
I
still need to play through that.
We all
too.
got that. We'll probably do a podcast episode on it.
Yeah, we should.
It's only
that got a lot of praise.
15 hours long?
No, it was like 10 to 12, I think. It wasn't even that
Isn't
long.
it like completionist? It's 15 or something?
Completion is 15.
Yeah. So today we're going to be talking about a horror survival game called Forest. The game basically revolves around a father and his son that get on a plane and it crashes on an island. And so the son gets taken, and basically you're the father and you have to go through the game trying to find your son.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Are we doing spoilers for this?
Let's not do spoilers, just in case people want to play
part
it.
of the fun is people playing through the story.
Yeah. We maybe later on we can talk about Forest 2, but we'll try to keep it spoiler free as much as we can.
Yeah.
Because I do want to talk about that. There's a lot of speculation in that game.
Yeah. That Forest 2 looks really good.
Especially ever since it came out. There was the new ending or whatever, which we're not going to say. But
I watched that. Yeah.
New ending on what?
New ending on Forest.
There's 2 endings now.
I don't know, but I was doing some research yesterday and I saw it and I was like, this was not here when we played it. But so the first game, so I guess we can talk about how the game starts out because we all played it together.
Well, how it started just in general as an early access survival game.
Right. Oh yeah, it was an early access. I forgot about that.
And it didn't have any story as far as I know.
No, it didn't.
It had the basic thing where you crash in the plane in the beginning.
Yeah.
But they slowly added the story through the development of the game.
Yeah.
And they added the final cutscenes and stories on the final release of the game.
Right.
Yeah. You two, you guys got it when it was like first released.
We put a lot of hours in it too.
And then I got it maybe halfway through you guys' playthrough.
Yeah.
No, not halfway. We had almost every item by then.
Really?
Because Jay, I think we were wondering about the story, but and then we looked it up and then we realized that it wasn't out yet. Because I feel like I remember that.
But there were certain things like the sinkhole. I think you could go down there.
Mm-hmm. So let's see. So
we need to explain what the game is.
Yeah. So it's like it's a horror game, but it's survival.
It's survival horror
and open world.
Yeah. So basically, you start off with an axe, right? And then you can cut down trees and hunt animals and build your base.
And there's suitcases and different things all over from
Right.
the plane crash
plane
that you
crash.
can go and collect from.
Okay, so I was playing it last night, and I built like a little hut, but I love the building system in the game.
Yeah.
It's really good.
I realized last night that it's so good. Like when you chop down a tree, basically it cuts away at the tree. Like there's an actual animation where the tree slowly cuts away, and then it'll break into logs.
I think I got the game first, and then I realized how smooth all the animations were and stuff.
Yeah.
And I showed you, and you thought it was awesome, so you
Yeah.
got it too.
You know what's a cool fact that I just learned the other day while
What's
doing
that?
research is that the game was actually developed by only about like 4 or 5 devs, and the rest
Really?
was freelance.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
I know.
What
It's
else did Ed Knight make then?
I'm not sure, but I know that most of the game, or a lot of the game actually, was freelance online.
That's really
So
cool.
that's why some people were saying that, like the code for the code of the game, like if you change something, you could potentially ruin like 10 other things.
Oh,
'Cause
wow.
It's kind of like really all over the place, but the game turned out amazing. So
You know, I've heard that about a lot of games, actually.
hmm.
Like Terraria, I heard their game code is terrible for
Huh.
some reason. I heard the game code for Minecraft is pretty terrible too. And so it takes a lot, like a huge team of people to engineer the code and to figure out what's going on a lot of
Hmm.
times. Just because it's kind of thrown together to
Unorganized.
start.
Yeah.
And then over time it grew into something bigger. So then they kind of had to backtrack a little bit on their
Yeah.
bad coding decisions.
Yeah, but yeah, the game does feel really smooth.
it does.
Yeah,
It's pretty optimized too.
it is. Yeah,
Except for when you go into a cave and it just
yeah.
lags for some reason.
Yeah. Oh, caves.
We spend a lot of time in those caves.
Yeah.
So,
Caves are partially the main part of the game, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Around the world, there are these entrances to caves you can go in all over the place. And in the caves, you can find cannibals,
Ugh.
monsters, baby zombie things
Yeah.
that fling at you and scream.
They're basically like mutated humans.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The whole story revolves around mutants and mutant cannibals on the island. And
Yeah.
the whole story is you're trying to figure out, first
Why they're
off,
there.
why they're there. Yeah,
Mhm.
and second off, how to get your son back from
Yeah.
the cannibal that took him at the beginning.
Right. Yeah. So like you'll be, because the cannibals and the mutants play a huge part in the horror aspect of the game. They
Yeah.
actually
Mhm.
like are the horror aspect of
Because
the
they
game.
kind of
It's
stalk you.
creepy
It
at
is
night.
because at night you'll be chopping down a tree. I was playing it last night, and then even though I played through the game, it still was terrifying. Like I was chopping down a tree and I hear these little footsteps like behind me, and I turn around, and then all of a sudden these I think it was three cannibals just started attacking me. It was terrifying.
Dude,
Dude,
they
the
laugh sometimes.
screams.
I
the
know,
screams
yeah.
and the laughs. They're
Like the
terrifying,
sound
dude.
development in the game is amazing.
Mm-hmm. You know what always got me with the sound development
Hmm.
was even when you're with friends, you're in your little cabin at night about to save and go to sleep. The wind, you'd hear the wind
Yeah.
howling, and I would actually shiver in real life every
Yeah.
time. Like it just gave the environment this cold and lonely feeling to it.
The games does a really good job with that, especially when you're caves.
Yeah,
You
yeah. I
say
was
the
just
caves?
about to say that literally.
Yeah,
Like
Ugh.
the sound bounces off the walls of the cave.
Yeah.
You hear the
It's-
water dripping.
It's
in the
pitch dark, too.
terrifying. Yeah. You get this little lighter
yeah.
and you have to like, unless you don't make a torch, you have to use the lighter, and you
Well,
only
you-
see
you
a
can
few
wrap
feet in front
cloth.
of you.
You
Yeah.
wrap
Yeah.
cloth on your tools and light it on fire to use as a torch kind of thing.
But
Yeah,
even then,
I-
you're limited with how much you could see.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even like. I remember some of the first times we went in the caves, and even when you're with a bunch of people, like it's still terrifying. Like when you see what are they called, the Virginias?
There's a Virginia, and then there's an Armsy,
yeah.
and
so-
there's another one that charges at you. This big fat creature.
oh yeah.
I forget what they're called.
Hate
Those
things.
basically like if you could imagine basically like a humanoid
fat
figure.
Hulk.
Yeah, with like multiple limbs. It's
I think
terrifying.
the Armsy has about 4 legs and then
Yeah.
a whole bunch of arms.
and they're like 7 or 8 feet tall or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
Yeah, it really
It
is.
looks like they're made together out of a bunch of mutated humans.
Yeah, it's pretty terrifying. And the cave system's huge too.
It is.
We
map
explored
is
that for
big.
hours.
Yeah.
Some caves are combined with other caves. Some are
Yeah.
like by itself. So
Mhm.
you gotta like use the map that you find in a cave
Yeah.
to actually find the other caves.
Yeah, you have to go in the caves. Even if you're scared
Mhm.
to, you have to go in the caves.
I think we kind of cheated a little bit once. We got to a halfway point in the sinkhole and then jumped down.
With turtle shells.
Yeah, and avoided most of
Oh,
the cave
yeah.
system down below. Although we did explore them at one point.
yeah.
Actually, like every single time we go into the sinkhole, we only usually take the turtle shells now.
Yeah.
It's just what we do.
It's a shortcut.
Yeah.
We should play through the game again.
We should.
I wanna play
Brian
through the
was
game.
asking to play through it again.
We should get it for Keenan and play through it.
We should.
Oh,
have you seen that guy
yeah.
on YouTube? His name is Farkit.
No.
He's
I watched one of his videos.
He's
the other day.
only forest. That's all he
Yeah.
does. He beat the game in less than an hour.
Wow.
Like he sped run
Well,
it.
Brian and I, we only went to like 5 caves, and then because we wanted to beat the game like quick. So
Yeah.
it's really once you know how to beat it, it's like
Yeah.
it's easy.
but
But
good.
there's a final boss too.
I remember that.
We had trouble with that boss.
That was pretty hard. The cool thing about the game though is you don't exactly have to do the story. Like you could just play it for the survival aspect, but
hmm
if you want to do the story is huge.
Mm-hmm.
And you unlock creative mode at the end of that.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to beat the game to get creative mode.
Mhm.
I think Nick played a ton in creative mode,
Creative?
just building stuff.
Yeah.
Because the building is just so fun in it.
I remember one of our first. I don't think it was our first playthrough, but it was like it might have been our first playthrough. But we had this massive compound with wood walls all around it. and
Oh,
we had,
yeah.
basically like prehistoric elevator systems. Like it was just rope, and you had to pull like your way up. And then we had this like
Zip
this zip
lines.
line, and we'd cut down. We'd have like a system, so people on the above part of where we were would cut down the trees and then send the logs down to our base, and we'd stock them up and build more, and it was really cool.
Ricky showed up with mods one day,
Oh,
and he
man.
chopped down every tree in the area.
Yeah.
I think we didn't have tree growth on because that area
Really?
never grew back from trees.
Huh.
And also, I think either it was a glitch or we just found a sweet spot, but no cannibals
Yeah.
came to our
Yeah.
base.
I'm kind of sad about that though.
We never got to defend our huge compound.
Yeah, because eventually, I think it's after like day 15 or so,
Something like that.
there will be an attack on your base from the cannibals and the mutants.
There's this one mutant. It looks like a bunch of sausages. Have you seen the thing?
That's the one that it breaks down your walls easily, right?
Yeah, it's made out of these little segments of sausage-looking things, and it forms this giant creature like 50 feet tall.
That's crazy.
More like probably like 20 to 30 feet tall. It's huge though, and it just rushes at you, and it flings its arm at you, and it'll hit you, and the segments will break apart, and then they'll go back together and form the monster again.
Yeah, we never experienced that, which I'm kind of sad about.
Yeah, we did.
Well, our base didn't get attacked.
By that thing, yeah. We played it again, and we made another compound.
The tree.
Oh, the
that
treehouse
was
base was
terrible.
Such a bad idea.
That was
That
terrible.
was such a bad idea.
I was inside one of the tree houses we had made, and he got attacked by cannibals. And one of them had a torch, and he lit the
Oh
tree on
my-
fire. And so I look outside as the tree house and the tree just explode, and
Yeah.
everyone starts screaming,
Yeah, that was the end of that.
No, tree houses are not the way to go in forests.
which is sad because they're so cool.
Maybe in your compound. Like,
possibly
within your compound, but yeah, they also have fire bombs. The cannibals have fire bombs too.
Yeah,
That didn't play in our favor either.
It didn't.
Mhm.
No. And then we made those the tree bridges
Oh, that's
all the way to the base.
That game is fun. Like just talking about it makes me want to play it again.
yeah.
I mean, after playing it last night, I only played it for a little bit, but it's just I was like, oh, like the foliage. The game is super impressive.
It is
Like every single tree was moving in the wind, and the character models looked really good. The sound design was amazing. Like when I was killing a cannibal, like they were gurgling. Well, this sounds gross, but they were like gurgling as I was butchering them, and it's like I don't know. It's just like extra detail like that. Like they don't die easily. You have to really make sure that they're dead.
Yeah.
So
The combat was kind of hard sometimes.
true, yeah.
it
Sometimes it would
depends
feel
on
like
what you use.
you would swing over and over and over again.
like if you use
It
a
is kinda
bow and
like that.
arrow, it's like it's really easy.
Well, if you stand on a rock far away and don't get hit.
Yeah, true.
I think there is a pistol.
Yeah,
There is a pistol. You
It's
have
that
to go.
flintlock pistol.
it's
Yeah.
like there's like 8 pieces around the map.
Yeah,
that
one
you
of the
can
pieces.
find.
Yeah, one of the pieces is off, like on a smaller little island off the main island.
Mhm.
Oh, another cool thing is if you try to swim in the water and try to like get away from the island, you have to take a boat, or else there are sharks and they'll eat you.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, you can't escape the island
hmm
until the end of the story. Maybe.
maybe. But yeah, I mean, just the game is really impressive, and finding out that it was only created by a couple, like 4 or 5 devs, and then the rest was freelance I was really impressed.
Yeah, I've never
Yeah.
knew that.
Yeah,
I think that's awesome.
it's crazy. Yeah,
I wonder if more companies should do that.
yeah, maybe.
I mean, maybe they have and it just didn't work out in their favor, but
I mean, the massive companies like Like
They don't need to.
Bethesda and places like that, they literally have such a huge team.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think also the reason why the game is what it is because the devs had passion.
Yeah.
That shows so much. Like the bigger companies, I mean, yeah, the games are really good, but there's just something about those smaller dev companies that show the passion. Like Forest is unique.
Remember what I said about Little Big Planet was how you had a limited number of tools to work with, so you were more creative.
Yeah.
I think that's that way with game dev companies. The
Yeah.
smaller studios have more creativity and they make the most of the resources they have. Whereas the big companies, they just try to push out this massive game.
It's true.
Sometimes they feel lifeless and there's no passion.
Yeah, because they want to get stuff out as fast as possible.
It is really true. And it's almost like you feel it. Like you feel the passion in the game depending on which game you're playing.
Yeah. Like they might put a lot of detail in their worlds, but sometimes the smaller games feel more alive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like what is the company? It's the Uplay, right? Or I mean,
Ubisoft?
that's the Ubisoft. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like look at Assassin's Creed Origins. Like I know you said that the world is awesome and different things, but the optimization, like there has to be the graphics and optimization in a game.
I mean, that's a huge feat, though. That map is massive.
It is, but if they don't optimize it, then you can't really explore it to its full potential.
That game is decently optimized.
Origins?
Oh, Origins. No, sorry. I thought you meant Odyssey.
I wasn't talking about Odyssey.
Origins was almost unplayable.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I thought you were talking about Odyssey, too.
No, Odyssey is amazing. They
Yeah.
worked a little bit harder on that, but
Right.
A lot harder.
yes.
That was I wouldn't say it's their best game, but definitely the best recent one.
Probably, was it the biggest game that they have?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the Assassin's Creed series is getting less and less assassin as it goes on.
It's getting
Yeah.
more RPG-ish.
Yeah.
True,
I mean,
yeah.
you were like Greek warrior.
Well, now
that
it's
one.
Valhalla, so the way they connect the assassin in there is
Hidden
the hidden blade.
Yeah.
It's like
yeah.
next it's gonna be like a modern warfare, but then the hidden blade, so it's Assassin's Creed.
It's going to be in space, except he has a hidden blade.
Oh my.
It's a hidden lightsaber.
Infinite Creed.
No,
Assassin's Creed Infinite.
no, please, not again. But yeah, like for instance, I just finished Vampire. I think it's a smaller dev team. I mean,
It is.
Focus published it, but
Yeah.
the dev team, I think they're in Sweden or somewhere.
Yeah, who's the dev
It's not
team?
I don't know, but it's not in America. I know that, but it's a smaller type dev team. And sure, the map isn't massive, but it's so heavily, it's so deep in the
Yeah.
story.
You
like-
feel that the developers put a lot of their time and
Exactly.
effort actually into
And-
everything.
And each character has their own storyline, and you can, there's all these choices you make. But it's like the same thing with Forest. It's so deeply cared about that you feel it.
Mhm.
And it's such a unique take on survival. It's
Yeah.
different than other survival games that I've ever played. So
It's one of the best ones.
I'd say so, yeah.
I mean, the optimization's good. The world's good. The horror feel is amazing.
Oh, yes.
The exploration's awesome.
Yeah, true. And the building. I
Yeah,
mentioned
the
that before,
building's
but
really
the building,
cool.
you can do so much with it,
Mm-hmm.
And I love how they made it to where you can play with your friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good solo and it's good with friends.
Yeah, like there's a lot of games like Stranded Deep. Like that
I
looks
wish that-
awesome,
I
but
wish- yeah.
I wish it was co-op. We would play. We would
I-
actually play it if it was co-op.
I think they're going to add it soon.
Are they?
I'm pretty sure. I know. I
It
think
came
they
out
added
early
the end game.
access like last year, I think.
Yeah, I think they added the end game because I'm pretty sure it's done now.
Yeah.
For the most part.
One thing about the Forest co-op that I really like is how you can pick up the same items.
Oh,
Like you go into a cave and there's a katana there. You can all grab the katana, even if there's like 5 of you there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some games there's just one, and one
Mhm.
person gets that, and the other people don't
It's
get
kind of like
it.
Terraria.
Well, there's plenty of stuff to go around in Terraria.
That is true.
Yeah. Another thing.
Oh,
what
no,
were you
go
gonna
ahead.
say? Oh, I was gonna say another thing about the caves is that this kind of ties in with the story, but there's hidden notes and this whole backstory to the island that just makes you want to explore the caves even more.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you can get over the terror feeling.
Yeah.
Well, if you can clear the caves out, you can actually
Yeah.
go through the caves again
Yeah.
without worrying about cannibals.
Mm-hmm.
If you die in single player, like the first time you die, you get taken away to a cave.
Really?
Yeah, where the map and the compass are.
Huh.
Yeah, you don't see that in co-op, but if you play single player, you see that.
Are you tied up or something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're tied up on a rope, and I think if you die another time, you get put in another cave, or something else happens.
Something like
Huh.
that.
But after that, I think it's just normal respawning.
I think, or I was, another thing is that I was looking at, when I was playing yesterday, I was looking at there's like this guidebook that you basically spawn with where you can see all the different things that you can make, boats, little huts, your base, up to, crazy big structures. And there's also pages where you can see your health and your stamina and all that kind of stuff. You have a sanity level too, which I think is really cool. So
Sanity?
Yeah, you have a sanity level. It'll go down the more you eat the cannibals. So you could actually, when you kill a cannibal, you can dismember them and put them in the fire and eat their flesh, but your sanity will go down. So it's like little things like that. I mean, I'm not really sure what happens when your sanity goes down.
I don't know about anything. I'd never even noticed it.
Yeah, I saw it yesterday.
Well, I know it's there, but I never really noticed any effects.
Yeah.
Also, you can get fat too.
Can you really?
Yeah, if you eat food, your weight goes up and you get
Does
fat.
your character look fatter?
A little bit, yeah.
That's awesome.
You can also like get really skinny too if you eat if you don't eat often and stuff.
There's like little details like that. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can fish in the game and hunt deer and stuff. I was actually chasing a deer. I mean, it was kind of stupid because I wasn't able to get
fish
it.
in forest.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, we can spearfish.
Spearfish.
Oh yeah.
The spearfishing is cool because you just stab the spear into the water where you see a fish, and then it's at the end of the spear, and you pick it off and you can eat it.
Yeah. Also, you have to try to watch out where you drink your water. The best way to get water is to place like a turtle shell down and catch rainwater.
Yeah.
But what we did most, we found like a little fish pond and we drank from that.
Did that affect us?
It did affect us.
A little bit, but not as much as salt water.
Yeah, you cannot drink ocean water.
It's not like Ark where you can just drink the ocean water and you're fine.
That was a little weird. It's kind of strange.
I mean, it was convenient, but it was just odd.
Yeah, true.
So one really cool thing about the game was how you progress to certain areas as you play. Like, you'll go to one cave and there's a whole bunch of water there, but you can't go through there until you get the rebreather in another cave.
Oh, I forgot about the rebreather.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. I remember that.
And then there's another cave that there are walls you can climb, but you can't get the climbing axe for another cave.
So you have to go to the first caves like first.
Yeah, but I think they're all connected in one way or another.
Not all connected. There's a few that are like
There might be like
they're
3 total.
unconnected,
I think there's 3 total cave systems.
No, there's not.
No, they're just so
I
big
did an article on it way back. It was like 15 caves.
that are not connected.
Maybe half of them are connected, but the other half are not connected.
You might be able to blow through with dynamite, like.
Yes,
through...
certain caves have destructible walls that you throw dynamite there or a bomb or something, and it blows it up.
Yeah,
and you can get through.
But yeah, I forgot about the whole respirator and the climbing axe and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So some areas are off limits to you to start.
Yeah.
And then you have to explore the caves to get the new items to progress.
Then you get the flashlight. Then
kind of reminds me of Fallen Order a little bit, because in Fallen Order you go to one planet and you complete it to a certain point, then you leave and go to another planet, and then you get like a double jump ability that lets you get to a new area on the first planet. So you skip around planets and unlock new abilities.
That's cool. You go back to the planets, like.
Yeah, and then you can go back later on and unlock or get all the secrets and stuff there. It's pretty cool. But in the forest, the cave systems are just amazing.
Yeah, they're huge.
There's so much to explore, and you get lost extremely easily.
Yeah.
You know what's weird though? They put a lot of time into the caves.
Yeah.
Like it's not like you go in and then you maybe turn the gamma up by using like a cheat or whatever, and then the caves aren't. They're like the textures are weird.
Yeah.
I think you might be able to do that.
I don't know why you would want to do that though.
No, I'm just saying
the speed run I watched the other day. The guy had it bright.
If you did that, the cave would look like they put a lot of time into it. That's what I'm saying.
They developed it really well.
They developed the caves a lot.
It's because the map on the top is actually pretty huge. There's so most of it's forest, and then there are the beaches obviously surrounding
it.
Swamp, and then
the
there's
alligators.
What was it?
With the alligators.
Yeah.
Swamp with the alligators.
And then there's the mountain.
Yeah,
with
the winter biome.
Yeah, and then not only is the map, the map is pretty big, isn't it?
It is.
It's pretty
It's
big.
decently large.
It's not like massive, but
it feels huge.
But there's all these cannibal villages on top, and you can grab the stuff in them. You just have to watch out for the cannibals.
Yeah.
And certain ones have cave entrances that you have to blow up to get into.
Yeah. And then not only is the top map really well done, but the caves obviously, those are huge.
Yeah, if you saw a picture of the entire cave system along the entire island, you'd be super surprised on how big it is.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we put 40 hours into that game before we beat it.
Yeah, we played it a lot.
Like there's just so much to do.
I think I got like 15 because I joined you guys too late.
Yeah, I think it was 40 hours.
But then I played through it like multiple times after that. It's such a
like
good
you and
game.
Brian and stuff.
Yeah.
I like how the game is kind of like primal in a way. Like you only really use spears and a bow. I think you can get a compound bow. But for the most,
you can get a katana, you get the modern axe.
yeah. But for the most part, it's mostly like up close and melee.
Yeah.
And like there's no like, you know, M4 or shotgun.
Yeah, you get like Molotovs and bombs and stuff like that. But
yeah. But
those are just throwables.
The trailer had some guns in it for the
that's
new game.
what I was gonna say. Some people are hoping that it's not gonna turn into a shooter type.
Yeah, that would defeat the purpose.
It would make it less horror, I think.
Pretty much
At least for Forest.
any horror game that's considered scary makes you vulnerable.
Yeah,
if you had a gun, that makes you already a little bit in control of the situation.
Yeah, like Resident Evil, Chug, when you were playing that, I noticed that when I was watching you, I noticed that you have a limited amount of ammo.
Yeah, it's
So
ridiculous.
That gives like a sense of stress, which
Yeah.
makes it scarier.
And
So they could do that
also-
in Forest.
They
also in Resident Evil, it's not guaranteed headshot one kill.
Oh,
It's like random chance.
huh.
You could use 8 bullets on one zombie, and then another zombie use 1 bullet.
Huh.
So it's like
They looked like bullet sponges. It looked kind of ridiculous, actually.
I was watching.
it was fun, but it was terrifying at the same time because if you only have like 1 mag of 12 bullets left and there's 5 zombies, you don't know if you're gonna be able to kill them all.
Yeah, so if Forest 2 does that, I can see that
Exactly.
working.
Well, not the bullet sponge thing, but
Not the bullet
limited
sponge.
ammo.
Yeah, the limited ammo. So there's like pressure.
Like
But even
the
then-
gun in the first game was hard to get ammo for.
The pistol.
It was hard to get and hard to get ammo for. Yeah.
I think most. I mean, I tried to get it, but I don't think I ever got it.
No,
I used it in creative mode. It wasn't even that good.
Yeah.
I mean, it would take out maybe the little ones in one shot, but the big ones, it was a couple shots.
No, it's made for you can attach your flashlight to it, and you
Mhm.
can use it as a defense when you have your flashlight out.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So
But I think that's what kind of adds to the horror in the game is that you kind of just start out with an axe and you have nothing else, and there's these terrifying cannibals and mutants, and it's
and
like
your son is missing, and
yeah, and you don't have a gun. Like, you know, it's all up to you, and that's what adds to the whole entire, you know, feel. Another thing actually is that the forest at night, it feels alive, or even in the
Mhm.
day, like just in general, the forest feels alive. Like you hear animals.
Like an
daytime you
actual
actually
forest.
feel like you have a way to defend yourself, but at nighttime, if you get
Yeah.
attacked, you're like it's the scariest
Especially if
thing
you're
ever.
in the forest and you're not at your base yet.
Yeah.
That's the most terrifying feeling ever.
Yeah.
Did you guys know that you can actually tame the cannibals?
No
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, some guy did a video on it. Basically, if you don't hurt them at all, when they attack at first, if you just block, they eventually learn that you're not a threat and they stop attacking you,
Huh.
and then you don't have to worry about them anymore.
Well, what about the ones in the caves?
Mutants?
I don't know. I think they don't attack.
Really?
The mutants or the cannibals or both?
Well, the cannibals control the mutants,
Hmm.
so I'm pretty sure nothing attacks you after.
You know what's
At least the ones on the surface.
Huh.
That's really cool. I didn't know that. But actually, that makes me think of why are the cannibals like that? Like, I know there's a whole backstory. I don't really remember, but it's kind of interesting how, like, why are the cannibals so primal and so crazy?
Well, their brain might have mutated too. Who knows?
Yeah, possibly.
Were they there before all the events of the story, or
All I know is,
Possibly, because there were villages there.
yeah, there are villages around the map. I think it was something about missionaries going there, I think, or a colony going there
Yeah.
to colonize the island or something.
And then
something
there
went-
was like what is
artifact.
that?
But yeah, so yeah, but you do see a lot of like villages and stuff, like cannibal villages, and they're not huge or but
yeah, you
Yeah.
see remnants of past life on the island, like
yeah,
modern buildings and that kind of stuff.
There was a
modern
boat.
buildings.
There was a little mini yacht.
Yeah, there was on the
Really?
beach. There was a yacht. Yeah, you could save on that.
Mm-hmm.
And on the beach, there were these huts that were obviously built by more modern humans.
Huh? But modern as in, I mean, not like modern. It had
Well,
to be-
not primitive like cannibal.
right. Huh? Yeah, but it's like there's all these layers to the game. That's really impressive, and it just makes more for the game. It makes it more interesting. So without getting into spoilers, we can kind of, I guess, say what we hope for the second game.
Mm-hmm.
For me personally, I just hope that it has the same horror feel. The thing that worries me the most is the weapons that might be in the game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If there is weapons in it, it's got to be to the point where either you have weapons and you have a ton of ammo, but the enemies are super difficult.
Right.
Or you have a limited amount of ammo and you have to be wise with how you use it.
Another thing, actually, yeah, exactly. And another thing that I'm hoping for is that in the trailer, I was watching someone analyze it. There was this, if you watch the trailer, there was this hand that grabs one of the members of the group or something, and they were saying that judging by the hand, that creature might be like 20 meters tall.
Oh, wow.
It might be a massive creature that just roams.
So you might get weapons, but you're going to need the weapons.
Right.
Because
That's the
there's
only
gonna
way
be
I can see it
creatures that are
work.
Massive.
Because it still has to be forest. Like, it has to have that same feel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and people analyze the trailer, and they think it's a different island.
Yeah,
Than the
that's
first
another
game.
thing. Yeah.
Mhm.
So that'll be cool, exploring a new environment.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know how I'd feel exploring the first island just with better graphics.
Yeah.
And a different story. That'd be kind of weird. Like,
They'd have to change the island.
yeah.
I mean, it would have to be that way.
Or they could make it to where you can go back to that island. There's the new island, but there's also the old island.
How Red Dead?
Yeah, I was gonna say
like,
that.
like Red Dead 2.
They just threw the map from the first game in the second game because they could.
That would be pretty cool. But yeah, I think for the most part, I would agree that you do kind of need a new map. Because
Mhm.
I know we played through the whole map and we know it like a lot. We know a lot about it.
Well, we don't
so-
know it by the back of our hands.
Well, yeah,
It's not
I mean,
like
the map is very in depth.
Yeah.
But if they, I hope they do another map. But if they do, I hope that even if, like, with all the speculation of it being 10 times bigger or whatever, I do hope that they put the same care into it. As in,
Mhm.
like, the cave systems are really in depth and just,
Yeah.
just put a lot of work into it. Not
If
just
the,
size.
if the cave systems are 10 times bigger than they are now, that will get overwhelming.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know.
I kind of hope it's not that big for the caves at least.
I wouldn't mind it being slightly bigger than the first map, but not massive to where you get overwhelmed. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
Maybe there'll be more caves just interspersed and not connected.
Imagine if you can have night vision
Oh,
with like the green, and then
Hey,
you have
you
a
know what?
certain battery, like a
Maybe.
battery on your helmet
maybe
or
because
something.
because you do in the trailer. There's like, I don't know. It's not like a SWAT team, but it's some sort of like
Special forces kind of
Special,
thing.
yeah. So maybe some people are saying that they're going for more of a even more of a horror feel.
Yeah.
So it's like even more scarier. It's like
That'd be cool.
I don't know. I'm really excited for it.
Well, at the end of the trailer, you see the cannibals, and
Yeah.
that thing looked creepy.
Yeah, I think they're I don't know. They look slightly different.
yeah, they didn't
were,
have any
yeah.
mouths or eyes. They're just like
Oh, those things.
Some
Yeah.
sort of mutated
Yeah.
creature.
Oof. Yeah.
There's also that weird armsy dancing thing.
mhm.
I don't know what was going
Oh
on.
yeah,
with
that was a little weird. That was a little
that
strange.
was kind of random.
You just walk through the forest. You see this like random like weird lady like dancing around in the forest.
I saw
Yeah.
a guy in the video who was analyzing it. He said that's possibly a cutscene, and it might be more cutscene based.
There were a lot of cutscenes in the first one though. Story, if you follow the story. that is.
Yeah, but he thinks it might be even more story based.
If it's story based and you could play with your friends,
Yeah.
it'd be amazing.
I mean, the first
Yeah.
one was like that too.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
but-
yeah.
Yeah. I think there's not like a solid release date, but I think people are saying that it's probably gonna release at the end of the year.
That'd be
This
cool.
year?
Towards the end. Yeah. Towards the end of the year,
I don't know.
I mean, they only
people are saying
released
they're
a
mostly done
teaser.
with development.
Yeah, they've only released a teaser trailer so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, normally they release like 1 or 2 trailers, like 3 or 4 months in succession of the release.
Yeah. But I mean, they released that trailer beginning of the year.
Is it going to be an early access or is it going to be
Oh.
a full-fledged game at first?
I want to say that.
I kind of hope it's
Yeah.
fully fledged because it's
But-
been
Let's hope they don't rush it.
true.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd rather them take longer to release it than to rush it and it turn out bad, because Forest is one of those games that we all kind of cherish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they kind of just randomly put that game out on the Game Awards last year,
Yeah.
and we didn't even know it was The Forest at first.
Yeah, it was
Oh, that's
weird.
right.
We just started watching the trailer. We're like, "What is this? This
No,
looks kind
yeah,
of cool."
yeah. What was it? Sam and I were watching the Game Awards, and
I was
then
watching it
this
with you.
thing came out. You were?
Yeah.
I was
that's
watching it too.
right.
We're all
But-
watching it.
Yeah, it's just like it said Sons of the Forest. We're just like, wait,
Yeah.
there's a new game?
Ah, I'm so excited.
I don't know. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. All right. I think that's going to wrap it up for this episode. If any of you are interested, we have a new Discord server, and that'll be on our website at cuboldgaming.com. So in there you can talk and discuss with us and also play some games with us. So be sure to check that out. And thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode.